So earlier you mentioned understanding flat Earth is the key to our freedom. You said something like that. So the first
Yeah.
question is, why do you think it's the key to our freedom? Why is it so important? And the second question is, how does it affect us? What does it matter if we believe if it's flat or round? How does that pertain to us in our everyday lives? What's the difference, and why is everybody arguing about it so much? And instead of acknowledging, guess what? It could be this or it could be this.
Yeah,
And instead
because
of talking about that there might be other lands that they're hiding from us, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about personally the everyday person who doesn't have anything to do with those things and never will have anything to do with these things. Why is it important to us? Why do we need to understand this? And what does it have to do with our freedom? And
yeah,
why argue about it and cause more division
well,
amongst two
right.
people?
Well, it's because we live in a very spiritual world, and this is a satanic lie, and there's a lot of evil in the world, and the way they get away with all this evil is people can't imagine that evil exists. Therefore, if they can't imagine it, it'll just happen, and it'll get around them. What difference does the shape of the world make? Well, there is no difference. It does make a difference, the shape. It's the lie that matters. What difference does it make? I have to go to work on Monday. I said it. I said all the things, right? I worked my way up through corporate America. I started my own business, super successful. I had a great situation, making tons of money, American dream. I got the whole thing. And I walked away from it all because this is the most important topic of our time. This is the one that unplugs us from the matrix. This is the one that frees us from the tyranny that's going on. What difference does it make? Well, there's a thing where he who created it owns it. So we're born into God's world, into nature, into the natural world, and there's natural law, and we are inheritors of this realm equally. But the controllers have made it where they immediately register us to a corporation at birth, and they'll tell us we live on this spinning ball, and if you live on their ball field, you play with their rules, and that's how they control us. For example, if you look at all of the music industry, all of it, all of the movies industry, all of the video games, and I think you could add into that all of the professional sports teams, all of that together is less than space, what they spend on space yearly. Okay, space is the biggest money laundering system in the world ever, and it's how they control us because it makes us insignificant. It hides us from the creator. There's a quote in the Bible, a verse that basically says, once you see my creation, you can no longer deny my existence. Well, they don't want you in that situation where you can't deny the creator, because it's hard to control people that have a connection to God. So they're doing everything they can by demoralizing us and hiding us and diluting God. How do you dilute something? You put it into something bigger, right? You pour it into something bigger, like infinite expanding space. They tell us space is expanding. I think it's 1 billion miles a minute or something like that. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's ridiculous. They're just lying. So money, I don't think money is the reason that they do it. I think it's more to hide God. And what else I got here? So if also, as I was saying before, your thoughts create your reality. If you're trapped in a globe of limitations, if you're afraid that they're going to start a nuclear war and don't realize that nuclear bombs don't exist as described, if you think that we're overpopulated, maybe you won't have more kids. It's all about population control. I believe that in the old world, if you start looking into that, there's tons of stuff on the app about it, that there was trillions of people here, trillions. Okay, not billions, trillions, and there's so much evidence of that. It's unreal. But if you live in a small world, you have small thoughts, and it limits your imagination. It limits your creative ability, and if you live in fear, your ability to manifest is not nearly as strong. So, what difference does it make? If you lived, let's say you lived in a building. All right, let's say there's this cool building. They're building that line out in Saudi Arabia, whatever it's called. Well, imagine a building 500 miles long by 500 miles wide, and it's 400 stories tall. Okay, cool. You're born in there. There's football stadiums in there. There's colleges in there. There's Costco's in there. There's trains in there. There might even be airplanes, 500 miles. That's pretty far, right? So this is a giant building. But every time you get within a mile of the outside wall, there's military there that goes, no, you can't go there. We have to protect the penguins. There's penguins that live out there, right? And there's ice. We don't want you infecting the ice. And you're like, okay. And then somebody goes, there's more out there. There's more. And you're like, what difference does it make? I'm fine right here in my little ball, right? They don't want you to know. What are all wars fought over? All of them. Resources and land. What if they're hiding more land and resources? They're hiding more land and resources. They're hiding the creator. They're hiding your true power. This is the most important topic. And also, if you're lost in space, spinning out of control, living in fear and in lack, they can make you believe that the boogeyman's floating through the air. And if you breathe on your friend, they're going to die and it's going to be your fault. Right? They can make you believe in anything if you believe you're flying through space. If you don't have a foundation to God's creation, then you are lost in space and you'll never live to your full potential. Now, you might be happy. You might have money. You might have a nice house. You might go on vacation here and there, right? Okay? But that's not what this is all about. This is all about, government. What is government? Why does government think that they're in charge of us? We're in charge of them. God, man, government. Government's trying to get on top of God, right? They're already on top of us in your minds, not in my mind. I mean, not in regular people's minds. I'm not trying to insult anybody, but government is here for us, but they're not here for us. They're all corrupt. They're all, in it together, and they're literally satanic. It's crazy the stuff that they're into. So, why the lie? They're hiding free energy. They're hiding your spirituality. They're hiding more land. What's going on here? They're hiding scientific knowledge. What's in Antarctica? That we're at the center of creation. They're hiding how special you are. So if you want to just ignore that and not see the full creation of this fantastic opportunity that we have to experience this realm, that's why, for me, it is the most important topic ever.